الله أكبر الله أكبر.
Phase number one.
He will hide for some time somewhere in the Jewish territory.
He will hide for some times in the Jewish territory, in the middle of the Jewish territory. How many days almost?
3 days.
3 days. These days for what? These hiding days for what? What will happen in these 3 days?
The Jews will search for him and try to arrest him, and he will hide, and Jesus will say, "You will come, I will go to the place and you will not come."
No. I'm saying what will happen or what had happened. What had happened in these 3 days?
Crucifixion. The Jews,
Yes.
There is crucifixion happened. Did somebody arrested?
Yes. Crucified someone, Judas, yes, for these 3 days. And Sunday was, it's a holiday, Saturday, holiday, no, that, so he appeared, according to the text, Sunday morning. Agree? Phase number two. Phase number one is to hide while they are crucifying that person. Phase number two.
he appeared to his.
He will appear to his disciple for what? To say bye. To go. To go. Go up.
Ascended to heaven.
To ascend to heaven. Please, clear. This is good. Clear, please.
This is clear, but what's inside is very complicated.
Okay. What is the complicated? We will make it easy. What do you think?
Yes.
Well, for example, when you ask the Christians, what did during this period, where did he go? Where did he go? He will say he went to heaven.
No Christian will say.
Not from this period, but they will say he went to heaven.
No Christian would say during these 3 days he went to heaven. He went to heaven after the crucifixion. He said they believe he crucified, put in the tomb, stay 3 days dead, then resurrected, bu'ith, then see disciples, then go up. So they believe this hiding place, he was dead in the tomb. We said no. He was hiding and somebody else was crucifying.
Did they believe when he hid again?
No, they don't believe he hid. They don't believe in the hide. They believe he was arrested from the upper room.
They believe that he was arrested
And taken to the court.
Okay.
Taken to the court night by the Jews. And they make decree to crucify him, but they cannot crucify him because they don't have the decree. Only the Roman governor. So morning, ala tool.
Next day.
Yes, next day. Went to Pilate, the governor, Pilate, to get the decree to crucify him. And they push him till they get a decree to crucify him.
Did they believe Jesus died, then present again? Then
Who?
to heaven? Christian?
The Christians? Yes. They believe he was crucified. He was the one put in the cross, then killed. Then they was put in the tomb. Then Sunday morning, God raised him from the death. Then he saw his children, disciples, then later go to heaven. So that is because you did not attend that day when we talk about, give a summary for what happened. So they believe he's the one arrested, he's the one in the court, he's the one taken to Pilate, the governor, and he's the one was hung. Alaykum as-salam wa rahmatullah. He's the one was hung and killed, and he's the one put in the tomb. And Sunday morning was risen. That is their faith. And this they said for purpose, this to wash the sin of mankind, because that is his mission. He came for this. He came to die. That is his mission. Who said this one? Paul, and inherited. Now it's become the creed of the Christian today. But none of the disciples believe like this. That is his mission. None. But they thought he is like other prophet who was killed. They thought he was killed.
Even the Gospels say that.
Yeah, the Gospels. Yeah, he's the one gospel. Yeah, but they don't know the one was the crucified is the one who's similar to Jesus. But we said, look at Jesus prophesied. They will not prophesied. He said, you cannot. You will look for me, but you will not find me. And where I go, you cannot come. So you cannot have it both ways. You cannot have it both ways. His prophecy is true, but they arrested him. You cannot. You cannot have it both ways. That he was, his prophecy, that they will not find him. Yes, it's true, and they don't find him, but they find him and kill him. You cannot have it both ways. Jesus, and not only one time, he confirmed it many times, 3 times. For the Jews, 2 times, and for the disciple, 1 time. When he said, you will seek me, but you will not find me. And I told you, as I told the Jews, where I go, you cannot come. So if you say to a Christian, look, very clear, Jesus was challenging the Jews. They cannot arrest him, and they cannot find him, and they cannot even come to the place that where he will be. What is this place? He said, they will say what?
Territory.
They will say what? Heaven. Because this place, only heaven, because when he said, and where I go, you cannot come, that means, he means it's heaven. That's mean, after crucifying Jesus, look, after killing Jesus, then when he went up, he's challenging the Jews after that. They don't need him. If they killed him, it's finished.
There's no point, no time.
So, there are 2 facts, we said before. There are 2 facts, proof it is not, there are many, but there are 2 facts, proof that is not heaven. Proof number 1,
They did not look for
the Jews never, you will not find in the gospel any text that the Jews looked for Jesus after the crucifixion. But he already said, you will look for me. So this cannot be while he's up. Why? Because the Jews never looked for Jesus after the crucifixion. Proof number 2,
disciples
the disciple already saw Jesus ascending, so they will not look for him. But he said to the disciple, you will look for me, and you will not find me. So all this one before, it cannot be after.
It was the first absence. So he was talking about the first absence.
Yes. And also you remember when he said to his disciple, little while you will not see me, then little while you will see me. So there is a little while absence. That is where he hid. And you remember when he said about Yunus, and he said the only miracle, when the Jews asked for a miracle, they asked for a miracle that you are to give us, you are the Messiah. He said the only miracle is the miracle of Jonah. As Jonah was 3 days, 3 nights in the belly of the fish, so the Son of Man will be 3 days, 3 nights in the heart of earth. Heart of earth, that's mean the central of the Jewish territory. And also in Luke, he said, as Jonah was a sign for the people of Nineveh, كما كان آية لأهل نينوى يونس. How come he was a sign? Because he was rescued by God. The big fish swallowed him and remained alive. So he became a sign. He said, I will be also a sign. So that means the death will be surrounded Jesus, but he will be saved. So this is the only miracle. He said, remember this, as Jonah was, I will be. So if Jesus was killed, so he is unlike Jonah, not the same as Jonah. Please clear? So we finalize truly Jesus. And we are talking now, remember that if you are talking with a Christian, he believes that Jesus is what? God, not Son of God. God, you remember? We're still with that he is that, so you will give him the truly Jesus. Okay? And you remember we said you will ask him, is there is any claim of Jesus? Do you have any proof? Yes? Alaykum salam wa rahmatullah. Do you have any proof that Jesus claimed that he was God? So you might find a Christian who doesn't know. So you are now giving him a truly Jesus. Or might you find a Christian, he might give you this doubtful statement said by Jesus. Doubtful statement said by Jesus. He might tell you, yes, Jesus claimed that he was God. Because you will ask him, did he claim? What is your proof? You might find a Christian who says, yes, Jesus said in John 10:30, I and my Father are one. This is the problem with the Christians. Because he was taught this text, so he took it as a proof that he is God, because he said, I, and my, according to the Bible, we don't know if Jesus said this statement or no. I and my Father are one. Actually, there is no problem with this text, with this verse. There is no problem. Because what they do, they quote only 30. But we should take only the whole context. We should take the whole context. Because the story started from John 10:23 up to 30. This is the story. So what they quote, only the last. Oh, he said, I and my Father are one. So John 10:30. So start from John 10. It is in the book 23. If you find it, page what?
27.
Page 27. You find it page 27. I and my Father are one. So these are the doubtful. Now we are starting to talk about the doubtful statement. Why we are talking about the doubtful statement? Please, why we are talking about the doubtful statement?
They use it as a proof that Jesus.
Yes, they will use it as a proof. And it sounds, how come when we talk about truly Jesus, we bring a statement said by Jesus? He said, okay, this is a statement said by Jesus. Also, it is against truly Jesus. We said, we will let Jesus himself answer you. So Jesus, so I and my Father are one. Jesus himself will answer, not you. So this is very important. You said to him, Jesus himself will answer you. So the Christian, when he quote, I and my Father are one, thinking that what? They are what? They are what? They are one being, one God. He believes, anybody believes that Jesus is God, and using this verse, I and my Father one, he thinks or believes that they are what? One being. One God. Because he said, I and my Father are one. Actually, if we read the story from 23 up to 130, we can understand why Jesus said such a statement if he had said. Because we don't know. Really, we don't know. Did Jesus say such a statement? But if he had said that, there is no problem with this text. There is no problem. I can give you an example for this statement. It can be used. Fine. What is your aim towards your children?
It's my aim.
Yes.
Grown up in a good condition.
Now, what is your aim towards your children? ما هو هدفك لأولادك?
يعني to be good.
To be good, yes. To have good education, yes. To brought them up good. Is that your aim?
Yeah, first thing, not يعني Jannah is the aim.
No, I mean towards your children.
Yes, for them.
Yes. So what is your aim towards them?
والله
Guide them and
To brought them up good. تربيهم
grown up
تربية.
in a good condition.
Yes.
Atmosphere.
Yes. That is your aim.
Yes.
Okay. What is the aim of your wife towards your children?
Will be same.
Same. Same with you or different?
There is little different. Should be.
Why? You mean your aim
No, but
toward the children? I'm talking about toward the children.
The target's same, but the way it will be
No, I'm not talking about that. I'm saying, what is that your target or your aim towards the
it
children?
will be same.
So you and your wife are one
Yes.
in aim.
Uh-huh.
But you are a different person. You are not one being. You are two different persons, but you have one aim, one purpose.
Uh-huh.
So you are one.
Yes.
one mission.
So not mean when I said, if and suppose, I give you an example. Suppose you are close to a friend and somebody came, he want to give money for your a friend. Then he don't find him. He said, no problem, give it to me, we are one. Yes? Are you one being? No, but you are very close.
عربي بقول
احنا واحد كلنا واحد كلنا واحد كلنا واحد ونسيت العرب كلنا واحد كلنا واحد. We are
You are one in fighting the enemy.
no we are one. Okay, that's what we say. كلنا واحد. عليكم السلام. Huh? So we more than one. Yes? كلنا more than one. But become one. One being?
No, of course not.
No. One thought. One mission. Okay? So the story is like this. Jesus was in the temple walking. So the Jews surrounding him. And they said, if you are the Messiah, the Christ, tell us. Don't keep us in doubt. They aim only to argue, by the way. The Jews are not looking for the truth. Just they argue. Whenever they find Jesus, they argue with him. So don't keep us in doubt. If you are the Messiah, tell us. He said, I told you. But my word has no space in your hearts. Because you are not my sheep. I mean, you are not my follower. You are not my sheep. My sheep heard my voice and followed me. And he said, my father gave them to me. Yani Allah hadahum. And no one can snatch them out of my hand. And no one can snatch them out of my father's hand. We are one. What this means? This means Jesus is under command of Allah. He did not,
One philosophy.
yes, one aim toward one purpose, meaning any Jews accepted Jesus, he's already what? With God. Any Jew accepting Jesus, believe in Jesus, he's already believing God. Anyone rejected Jesus, he's rejecting God. Because who sent Jesus? God. If somebody sent you a messenger and he rejected him, is he rejecting the messenger or rejecting you?
Me.
You. Because you are the sender. But he rejected your messenger. So he's not rejecting the messenger, rejecting you. So, but if he accepts, he's accepting you. So any Jew accepted Jesus, he's already accepting God or having faith in God. And anyone rejecting Jesus, he's actually rejecting God. Because the one sent Jesus is God. So they are one in purpose toward the Jews. Anyone accepted Jesus, he's already with God. So he's telling him, I don't about it myself. I don't come to from my own authority. He's the one sent me. So whatever I command you, it's already from God, it's not from me. What is the proof? Now we need the proof. This is the meaning. So most of you said to the Christian, that's the meaning, purpose. He said, okay, that is your own understanding. I don't believe. Yes? You might, if you give him this one, he said, no, this is your understanding. I don't believe. I believe they are one being. Jesus tried to say to the Jews, we are one. أنا يمحسيكم أنا واللي فوق واحد. By the way, are we proving or explaining? Are we proving or explaining? No, I haven't proved. I'm explaining the meaning of I and my Father one. I'm not explaining.
Up to now, we don't.
Yeah, I am not proving. So the Christian might not accept your explanation. He must say, this is your understanding, yes? So who should prove the meaning?
Jesus.
Jesus himself. Jesus himself, he will prove to the Christians that he does not mean one God, one being, but he means oneness of purpose. This is in John 17:11. There is a clear proof, a clear statement from Jesus to explain to anybody, not to go far in his thinking, that when he said, I and my Father are one, he means oneness of purpose. This verse in John 17:11, Jesus was praying for the disciple. He said, I am no longer in the world.
But they are in the world.
What this means, I am no longer in the world, I will not stay forever. And remaining for me a little while. But these, the 12, are in the world. Keep them by your name. Protect them. Yes? And he asked them, and make them one. Like what?
As we are one.
As we are one. He make him the same oneness. He said, the same oneness between me and you, make it with the disciple. So what type of oneness between God and Jesus? If they are one being, I'm saying, if Jesus and God one being, so he's asking God to make what? To make the 12 one being. Mix them and create out of them one being. Is that what he's praying for? Was Jesus praying to make the disciple one being? No. But to have a unity in Allah, meaning act like one person, same thinking, same ideas, it's like they as one, no dispute among them, no disputes. So he said, Jesus prays, the oneness between me and you, as we are one, make it with the disciple. Very clear. So the proof in John 17:11 that Jesus meant oneness of purpose, not one being.
Not oneness in nature.
Yeah, not one being. So what is the proof? And John 17:22. Also, in John 17 from 21-22, Jesus is praying for all the believers. All the believers. What the disciple? To be one. As we are one. So now Jesus is praying to make all the believers of the believer of whom? Of the disciples. Because the disciples, they go to preach. So there will be a believer. So he said, as to Allah, all the believers, I didn't pray for all, but all the believers, to be one as we are one. As, what mean as? Same. So, in chapter 17, we have two proofs that Jesus meant it is not one being, one of purpose. Please, is that clear?
Yes.
You can prove?
Yes.
So what's the key word in the statement? What is the key word?
That they may be one as we are one.
Key word. That's it. As we are. As. كما نحن واحد. كما نحن واحد. Put those one. So as we are one, this is the key word. So as we are one. Who is this we? Huh?
Who would say?
Who is this we?
Jesus.
With Jesus
And God. Jesus and God. He said. So he said, as we are one, make the 12 one. And make the 12 with the believer, all the believers, one. That means a unity in Allah. Unity in Allah. وحدة في الله.
That means oneness of Allah. Oneness of Allah.
No, not oneness of Allah. No. A unity in Allah. وحدة في الله. شوف, we have وحدة في الله. Unity, look, we can have a unity in Allah. We can have a unity in business. We can have a unity in team.
Community. Unity community.
And unity in team. We all laugh. Do you have basketball team? Huh? What is the name? Al-Jaffali. So a unity in Al-Jaffali team. That means all the players, they have a unity. They are one. One spirit, one aim. They have a unity. So what Jesus was asking is to have a unity. So what's the unity between Allah and Jesus?
Unity in purpose.
Purpose of what? Towards what?
Unity mission.
For who? For what? Okay, if Allah and have a unity in what? If we said unity in Allah, so what's the unity between Allah and Jesus? Purpose of what? The Jews. So what Allah wants from the Jews is exactly what Jesus wants. Is what Jesus asking for different than what Allah asked? No. So that's what he said. Jesus tried to tell him, I am not appointing myself. I'm not coming by myself. So they have a unity towards what?
Jews.
The Jews. Do Allah and Jesus have a unity toward the Chinese? No, because he was not appointed. But Allah have a unity with the Chinese messenger who was appointed, who don't know. Please, clear.
Yes,
Clear.
very clear.
Did God have a unity with Noah towards the Jews? No, because he was not appointed to the Jews. Before their race was existed, by the way.
Can I start?
Yes.
Okay.
And you will start, but I will make a point. Those who are da'iyah, mean practicing da'wah, not excused.
Yes.
أبو خالد الكل عنده معلومة بس خايف يخطي.
No problem. No problem.
بعد إذنك أبو خالد لو أنا مكانك ما شاور فلان تكلم وش أنت
No. No. Everybody, I want to encourage. I want everybody willing. I don't want by force. So everybody share little. And those who practicing da'wah, they should be the first one.
Okay, the last 3 sessions.
Not for me.
Okay. طيب
No, look at him. Look at.
لا تدقق أبو خالد.
No, not for me. Look at him.
ما هذيك جبلاش.
Okay. Okay.
The last 3 sessions we were talking about.
No problem. Okay. Can you hear? Can you hear? Okay.
Was killed during the crucifixion, and we approve that from Jesus' words. He said to the Jew, "You will seek for me, you will not find me, and I'll go to a place you cannot come to me." So from these 3 verses or what he said, we approve that he wasn't killed. And he said in other verse, I think in 16:16, John 16:16, right? He said that I'll hide for a while, then I'll present for a while. Sickness is right.
Is it little while, then you will not see me, then little while you will see me.
Okay, so from this verse, which is John 16:16, we found out that Jesus wasn't killed. And there is some Christian, they will say that, okay, he will hide. And up to now, this is his hideness. But he said, I will hide for a while. And now...
He didn't say, I will hide for a while. He didn't say, I will hide. Because if he said, I will hide for a while, finished. If Jesus said, I will hide for a while, finished. No.
This one here.
He didn't say, I will hide.
I will absent.
He said, little while, you will not see me. Then little while, you will see me. So we said, that will hide. If nobody can see him, that means he's hiding, because he will come just for a little while.
Okay, some Christians said that he will not see him for a while. It means now, this time, which is 2,000 years, which is not reasonable. So this is the little while. And second, approve. The Jew asked Jesus to give them a miracle, and he said, the only miracle you will see or you will have, same as Jonah. He not seen for 3 days, and Jesus have seen. That's the last session. This session, ناقص شيء ولا واجد اللي ناقص.
We said,
and there is two
everybody
phases.
share. That means even little is enough. But I need somebody to talk.
Okay, and there is two phases of surviving Jesus, right? The first phase was Jesus.
No, without looking, you're understanding. Okay, somebody help. Somebody help.
Nasser, your time, baby.
Somebody help.
Your turn.
Really problem, we was going to take long time in summaries. With summaries take little time. But the problem, we are taking long time in forcing people to talk. Please. Da'iyah have no excuse. Those who are willing and want the excuse. But those who are practicing da'wah, no excuse.
This is a course for training.
Yes.
For people.
Yes. To encourage people. But those who are practicing da'wah, no excuse.
Maybe they are only.
I'm saying those who are practicing da'wah. Those who are practicing da'wah, no excuse. Those who are willing or want, yes, I understand. It will come. Shall I point those who are practicing da'wah? Nasser, Umar, كيف الحال؟ كيف حالكم؟ You are داعية.
Maybe they're using the keyboard or the telephone.
No, they have class. They have students. No excuse.
Maybe it's better now we have an understanding of this, because this, from what you are talking about, this is serious. If you are discussing with us, and then we say, okay, someone can give me a summary, we will all keep quiet.
Yeah.
We are all brothers. We should not feel ashamed.
Yes. Yes.
That's why I'm not.
That's why I appreciate Fahd. I appreciate what he did, Fahd.
One time, do it one time, second time, then it becomes normal.
Yes. Try and try until you succeed. Try and try until you succeed.
That's it. But nobody tried the problem. يلا يا داعية يا دعاة. No problem. But don't look at always look. Don't read. Not reading. They need your own words. And they need your face. Okay.
And you know, you are getting a big attention.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. As we have
Concentrate to what?
as we have studied last week, in the previous week, that we are talking about the truly Jesus in the gospel. And I'm going to take some points that I want to share with our brother, Naif, and for the rest. That Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the God rescued Jesus. This is the last point of the truly Jesus in the last point of about Jesus rescuing.
Prophesying. Different. Different. Jesus, since we are talking about truly Jesus, that means he was talking. He was prophesying. We cannot say God saved Jesus. This is title. I'm saying Jesus is prophesying. Jesus telling that Allah will rescue him. Because you see the difference. You are da'iyah. Please be
Last
careful.
point in the prophecy, you can say.
Yeah, a professor.
God saved him. This is the last point of the prophecy.
The last point of the prophecy.
The last point of the prophecy. The last point of the prophecy.
God saved him.
The last point of the prophecy. The last point of the truly Jesus and the gospel is the prophecy of Jesus that Allah will rescue him. It's different. Don't mislead him.
The last point of truly Jesus in the gospel is the prophecy of rescuing him.
Yes. Can you see the difference? Can you see the difference?
No.
Can you see the difference?
Yes.
Okay.
And this is happening in two phases.
What?
This is happening in two phases. First is that he will hide for a little while.
For me, I really understand, but he missed.
And the rescuing of Jesus is happening in two phases. First is that he will going to hide for a little while in the Jewish territory, not in heaven or not in the Jewish territory.
While they are killing
Judah.
And while in this hiding moment, they arrest.
So he was hiding while they are killing the one who looks like him.
While the crucifixion happened, he is in hiding place.
Yeah, he wasn't here the last two sessions. If you give him the history,
You do it. You do it.
You will do it, inshallah. And the second one is he appeared to his disciples. He appeared and he ascended in order to ascend to heaven. And the other facts that support these details is that Jews never look for Jesus after the crucifixion. And the second one thing is that the disciples...
This is proof what?
Other facts about the...
Proof what?
To prove that...
Proof what?
he said, "See, you will seek me," but they did not after the crucifixion.
Yeah, proof what? These two facts proof what? Proof what? I am saying when Jesus said, and where I go you cannot come, he means heaven. That's
No.
No.
what's the proof? What's the proof?
The Christian think that this is in heaven.
Yeah, because no one. Yeah. So what's the
Nobody
proof?
can come.
What's the proof?
Now the proof that
What's the
he's
proof?
not in heaven is that the Jews never look for him.
Okay, so you can't see that. So it's a proof. It is not heaven. So these two facts are proof of what?
That he is not in heaven.
Not. He did not mean heaven. He did not mean heaven. No, please, no.
He doesn't.
He did not mean heaven. He did not mean when he challenged the Jews, no one can come to that place. He did not mean heaven, but a place on earth. What's the proof?
Sunday he meets Maria.
Magdalena.
Yeah, but the Christian says, after the crucifixion, when he went up, what he means, this is a prophecy, and where I go, you cannot come, meaning when he will go to up, he mean after the crucifixion. We're saying, no, the challenge before the crucifixion. He was hiding on earth, and no one can to come to him while he's on earth in the hiding place. What's the proof? It is before the crucifixion. No, the Jews never look for Jesus after the crucifixion because they thought they did it. Finished. Second, the disciple will not look for Jesus because they saw him going up. So no stupid disciple will start to look for Jesus when he already saw him too going up. And Jesus is ready to say to the disciple, you will look for me, but you will not find me. And where I go, I told you, as I told the Jews, you cannot come. So that means before, on earth, before. So it said, because the Christian belief said, if you said, look, Jesus is challenging the Jews, challenging the disciples. They said, yes. After he was crucified and he went up, that means later, no one can come to him in heaven. He said, no, it's on earth. Because the Jews never look. But he telling, you will look for me. So this prophecy had to pass, had to happen. I mean, the Jews had to look for him. But you will not find the Jews look for Jesus after the crucifixion. Second, the disciple already saw him going up. So no stupid disciple will look for Jesus when he knew already in heaven. So this is, anybody will share? I said, you will share?
Before that point, they have two disciples going the Capernaum, one of the place. They are walking.
Yeah, this is he appeared to his disciples.
Yeah.
This is later will come when we talk about the crucifixion. Okay, we are not talking about the crucifixion, please. We are not talking about the crucifixion. We are talking about what?
Fulfilling the prophecy.
Challenge.
The prophecy. A prophecy that Allah will rescue him. Okay? Meaning the statement of Jesus about telling about the future that he will be rescued. We're not talking what happened. So
that proof also giving the idea Jesus is in the at the time is in the earth, not the heaven.
yeah, they believe he was on earth, but they said, the Christians said, after he was killed, put in the tomb, stayed 3 days, then God raised him from the death, then saw the disciple, then he go up. So any challenge before when he was talking, he meant after going up. Nobody is looking for Jesus after he goes. If the Jews killed him, so they will not look for him. Yes?
They finished their intention to kill him.
And they did it.
They did it.
So they will not look for him. If Jesus was killed by the Jews and finished, finalized, why they look for him? And why he challenged them? The challenge while he's on earth, that you cannot come and you will not find me. You got it? Okay. Who will tell about today's lessons?
It's about last week.
This is last week?
Last month, I think.
What they give you 1%, by the way. Only. What they give 1%.
That's useful information.
Okay. 1%. Okay. Who will give now?
Now,
You should be the da'iyah, not them.
والله شوف خالد بعد اذنك يعني انا اشوف انه كل 3 محاضرات تجبرنا المحاضره الرابعه كل واحد يلخص ويجيب
شيخ انت قال
مش قاعد
I think I will.
لانه والله بالحاله
I will. يلا.
اعطينا هومورك عشان برضه نقراه.
The whole book you have.
لا نزلنا.
Okay. Who about now?
Just a little bit of explaining about the our topic for today.
Yes.
For tonight.
You will explain?
Just only a little bit.
You will explain?
Yes.
Good.
Okay.
Okay.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim.
Not for me.
خلاص.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. As the Christian said, Jesus Christ and God is one. Supposed to be. If your father and you is also the one? No. Because God is Allah and Jesus Christ is a prophet. But according to the Christian, Jesus Christ also a God. The same with Allah. Okay? That is only the one, sir. So,
Okay.
being a united, you are supposed to know that united being disciples, as 12 disciples of Jesus Christ, and Jesus Christ and Allah is one. Cannot be. Because one is only Allah. And Jesus Christ, the prophet, and the disciples are disciples of Jesus Christ.
Anybody want to add? Joseph? Huh?
Jesus, I just want to add what Brother Nasser spoken. Jesus was referring about oneness in unity, in purpose, in mission.
Before? No, before. Because we are talking about we are discussing with somebody believes that Jesus is God. You will ask him, what is your proof?
You will have this doubtful statement from the Gospel, I and my Father are one, in John 10:30. But they quote only the last part. It should be in context from John 10:20 to 30. So the Christian will only use this last part, I and my Father are one. If you will explain it, you will see, you will find out that it is not oneness in being. It is oneness in purpose or mission to the Jews. That was the whole explanation of John 10:20 to 30. Not personal being.
Okay, but that is your explanation. What is the proof?
The proof is in 17:11. Jesus talked about the apostles, the disciples, make them one, just Jesus and the Father are one. So, common sense, it's not the 12 and Jesus will put into one being, cannot be.
Physically, no.
Nonsense, it's not logical. So Jesus was referring to another oneness. It is oneness in purpose or in mission.
What else? John 17:22. In short, it has to be, the Christian believes Jesus is God. You said, what is your proof that you believe that? He said, Jesus said, I and my Father are one. This is John 10:30. Okay. I and my Father are one does not prove that they are one being, one God. What he wants to tell the Jews, I am not coming by myself. He's under command. Meaning, the one accept me, he's already believe in me. The one believe in me, believe in God.
Yes.
Yes? The truth I am giving you is not my truth, it's from God. Yes. We are one on purpose. So what is the proof? Jesus, when he said, I and my Father are one, he means it's a unity in Allah, oneness of purpose. John 17:11, Jesus prayed to the disciple. He said, I am no longer in the world. I will not remain here. But these, the 12, will remain. Keep them by your name. احفظهم باسمك. That they may be one as we are. Means same me and you one, make the 12 one. So is he praying to make the 12 one being? No. Meaning they go and act like one person. No dispute. Same purpose. No argument. They have same mission. Same me and you. We have Allah and Jesus have same purpose toward the Jews. Also in John 17:22, Jesus prayed for the believers. He said, the believer, the disciple, all make them one as we are one. As we, this is the key word. كما نحن واحد. يعني كما أنا وأنت واحد, make the believers واحد. One being? No. Not one being. So Jesus and God, different persons. But they have one purpose toward the Jews. Like Noah and God, they're two different beings, but they have one mission toward the people of Noah. So every messenger is with God, they are one in purpose toward their people. And there is a verse in Mark 16:19. Jesus was received up and sat what?
Sat down at the right hand of God.
So how many persons?
Two.
How come they are one?
How many beings?
The two beings. This gives you they are not one, they are two. So one of them God. They cannot be. Anybody believes that he have two gods, because the picture, that verse, gives you two beings. You get my point?
Yes.
Unless they are one on purpose. So we are not discussing, later it will come the meaning, how they are one, how he was at the right hand. We will talk about it later. Yes, but the verse gives you what? Two persons, two different beings. Both gods, problems. That means beggars. More than them. So one of them God. Clear? Break. No, I'm.
هذه مين تبع انه son of God؟ تبع انه God.
لا, son of God.
مو كل القضاة رب.
ايه, هذا احنا نقول انه اللغة العبرية يستعملون ألفاظ لا يقصد فيها المعنى الحرفي بدليل you are God. ايه, العبرية you are God ولا I make you as a God. فيعني نقول شوف هذه كلمة أكبر من son of God.
أليس كذلك أبو خالد؟ استخدمت مع كل الرسل.
اللي هي
ابن الله son of God. استخدمت مع كل الرسل.
في كتابهم. ايه, بس أنا we said if suppose he told you I believe he's son of God, there is first a question you should ask him before you proceed, before you start to talk to him. Very important questions. This one you will corner him. With this question you will corner him. What is the questions? Anybody can guess?
How many sons of God is there? What do you mean by son of God?
That's it. What do you mean? You are cornering him now. If he said to you, he is son of God, you ask him, what do you mean by son of God? That's it. You corner him. Because now he will start to confuse. Now, how many beings? Two. One father, one son. Two. One big, old, one young. So this is a problem. This is enough a problem to knock him down if he believes in two. Why he said son of God? By the way, don't wait for answer. If you cornered him, he has no answer. Because what is your aim when you ask him? You want him to admit two beings. When he admit two, okay, who is God among them? If he said God, okay, this one, you mean there is no divinity with him? Tell me. Then you start to say, look, son of a human is a human, son of an elephant is an elephant, son of a donkey is a donkey. So son of God is a God. Is that what you believe? Or only a pure human being? Or there is was he a divine? If he said yes, so how many divine beings? Two divine. All this one, you will try to trouble him and start, yes.
Confused.
Why he said? Because he is already programmed with this word son of God. Why? Because it is in the Bible. And Jesus said son of God. What makes him to believe son of God? Because it is said by, and he called God as what? Father. So if he calling his God Father, that means he is what? Son. So your aim is to corner him. What do you mean? What do you mean by son of God? To let him be sure what to explain to you. Do you get my point, please? Do you get my point?
Yes.
Good, yes. Muhammad. Okay, who will explain for Muhammad? Who will explain for Muhammad? Saleh. You explain Muhammad? Okay. Tell them I am the son of Yusuf and finished. I am the son of God. Tell them I am the son of Yusuf. Who will explain to Muhammad? Please. Okay, anyone?
If any Christian, they rise to the word Jesus is the Son of God. At the moment, we want to ask from him, what do you mean, Son of God? What do you mean? Because if we ask this question, he will be come to explanation to Son of God. So that way we can call him to understand what is the meaning or real meaning of the Son of God.
Also, you want to hold him to admit, was he a divine being or no? If he divine being, that's mean how many? 2. And this is pagans. If suppose he said, no, only 1. Yes? So how come he is coming from this and there is no divinity within him? You see the trouble he make for himself?
Yes.
By believing. If he admits that he's a divine being, يعني في ألوهية, so there are 2. If he said no, there is no divinity in him. So how come he came from this a divine and he's not divine? Please, you get my point. So why we ask him? We want him to tell him to think. Because you have inherited this term without thinking. What you are trying to tell him, you are just inheriting this faith without thinking. So now this is the time to try to wake you up about your faith. What do you mean by Son of God? Is this Son, is he a divine or not? If he said yes, so how many divine beings? 2, finished. You are pagans, beautiful. 2. If he said one, who of them? Only God. What about this one? How come he came from a divine being, but he is not divine? How come? He will start to think about, he just have inherited. Because the problem, as I said, he's reading in the Bible and he's Jesus saying, Son of God and my Father, so he take it. So,
excuse me, I might say it's a miracle. So,
miracle how?
It's a human being. It is a miracle. This is why
what is the miracle?
He's son of God.
Yes.
And he's in a human being form. And he's still Son of God. This is a miracle.
No, okay, now the idea, look, a human form, I mean, is he a human or divine? Different.
He says he is human.
A human. So no divinity. No divinity. A pure human being. So how come, if that means, look at the difference. If that means a human being, that means created. Created, it's different. Not coming out of
divine.
Because they thought he was born.
Yeah.
Not created. This is the difference, this is the problem. A created is finished.
No.
A created is finished. Yes? But if I said no, a born, not created. Adam was created. But Jesus, no, was born. That means he came from God. So, how many? 2 divine beings? That means you believe in 2. He might come back and say, but they are one. You go back. Okay? And explain, I and my Father are one. You know why? Because as I told you, because he have inherited. Nobody asked him, nobody thinking. Now you are trying to
Push him.
let him think. No. Wake up. Wake up. What do you mean? Before you proceed, wake him up, let him be with you. Then he starts to accept what you said.
Yes.
So, now Jesus, in the Bible, he called himself Son of God. Yes?
Yes.
And he called God as his Father. It's a problem, yes?
Yes.
In Arabic, yes, but in Hebrew,
Means
the Abriya, it's for honoring, tribute, taqdeer, honoring. Yes. They don't mean it literal. This is in Hebrew. The Quran وقالت نحن أبناء الله. They mean not born from God.
Not the sons of God. Okay.
Yeah. So in Hebrew, they give this term, son of God, of honoring, tribute to the righteous people, to the prophets, not to anybody. So this was common in Hebrew language.
yes.
The proofs, many prophets in the Bible, in the Old Testament, they were called Son of God.
Why specific Jesus?
Why? Yes, you get the point.
Yes.
So, not only Jesus, the one taking this term, Son of God. Most of the previous messengers in the Bible, they were called Son of God. And Jesus calling himself what? Calling God as what? His Father. Also, he asked people to say, our Father.
Pray, our Father, Father in heaven.
In Matthew 6, 7 to 9, he teach the people how to pray. He said, our Father in heaven. Say, our Father in heaven. So he asked people, so is God the Father of Jesus only?
No.
Yeah, he gave teaching to the people, says, our Father. So not for only him when he said, my Father. So again, this is a Hebrew expression, does not mean the Father who gives birth, but mean the God, the merciful, the one who, the sustainer, Al-Razzaq, Al-Rahim. Does not mean literal. Also, in John 20:17, Jesus said, when he saw, you remember Sunday morning, he saw what? The first one saw? Mary. When he came from hiding place. Yes. And he came disguised because she thought he was the gardener. And he was making joke with her, speaking not in his accent. That's why she thought the gardener, because she didn't recognize his accent. Only when he spoke in his normal accent and said, Mary, she recognized that Jesus. But before, she was talking to him and he is disguised, a bit like a gardener, and changing his accent, make as a joke to her. But when he spoke to her in his normal accent, she tried to cut him. He said, no. But he said, go to my brethren and tell them that I am ascending to my Father, their Father, my God, their God.
Amen.
So he said, to my Father and what? Their Father, their Father. So, is God Father for Jesus only in Hebrew? No. So, of calling my Father, he is also asking the people to say our Father, and he said he is the Father of the disciples. Okay, please clear? Look, there is, so Son of God is a term of what? Honoring. Yes? It's for honoring, tribute, addressed to the righteous people. Honoring. Okay? So, the term Son of God in Hebrew does not mean literal son. There is another term more than Son of God. Addressed to human. So we find Son of God addressed to human. Yes. We find it to the messengers. Yes. Now we find another term in Hebrew more stronger than Son of God. Addressed to human. God himself. A human called God. So which is more stronger? Son of God or God?
God.
God. This we find it in Exodus. Exodus, this is the second book, Al-Khuruj, Sifr Al-Khuruj, the Old Testament. According to this text, Jesus, Allah is speaking to Moses. Allah speaking to Moses, telling him, go to the Pharaoh, and he said, I made you as a God to the Pharaoh. Allah speaking to whom? To Moses. And he said, I have made you as a God to Pharaoh, and your brother Aaron, your prophet. So, according to Exodus 7:1, Moses is what? As God. So, if Jesus in the Bible, Son of God, Moses in the Bible what?
God.
God. Which is more stronger term?
God.
God. Also, but does this mean literal? No. What that means, when a human addressed in the Bible that's God, that means he has the words of God. Meaning you have the words of God. God's spokesman. Now, we will let Jesus himself explain or prove to whom? To you? To you? To whom? To the Christians. That he does not mean it literally. When he calls himself Son of God, Jesus himself, he will tell the Christians the true meaning of him being Son of God, and of when a human addressed to him God, what that means. Jesus will explain. This we'll find it in same John 10. You remember when he said, I and my Father are one? This is John 10:30. From 31 up to 35, this is the explanation of Jesus of the term Son of God when he addressed it to himself. How?
He said,
look, one day Jesus was in the temple, walking in the temple. So the Jews take a stone, and because always they make a trouble at him, because they don't believe in him. They always argue with him. They always give him hard time. So they stone him. So he came to them. Why you stone me? I have shown you many good works, many miracles. For which one you stone me? He thought because of his miracle, they stone him. He said, no, we don't stone you for your work. We don't stone you for your miracle. But we stone you because of a blasphemy, tajdeed, kufr. You are only a man making yourself God. Because he said, I am the Son of God. They know, by the way, they know the meaning of Son of God. Their book full of sons of God. They know, but only looking for trouble. Only they argue. So, according to these Jews, what is the crime of Jesus?
Blasphemy.
Blasphemy, because he said, I am the Son of God. So they stone him because of a blasphemy, kufr, tajdeed. So if Jesus was really Son of God, he should not be afraid. He should not feel ashamed. Yes?
It will depend.
He should admit.
Also Quran proof
He's son of God.
How?
If he son of God.
Yes, but you are talking to Christians now. They don't believe in the Quran. But I'm saying before the Quran, if Jesus was really, he will admit. He will not hesitate. He will not hesitate because it is his mission to declare about himself. And those people, they stoned him and they said, you are making blasphemy, you are only a man making yourself God. So his job is to declare himself. If he is really son of God, he should admit. He should not mislead people. He should not bring any diplomatic answer. He said, yes. Do you know what he says?
He said, I righteous person close to God.
No, he didn't say it like this. He quote from their book. He quote from Psalm. There is a verse in Psalm 82:6. Psalm 82:6. There is a verse that, according to the Zabur, هذا الزبور. There is a verse. There is a verse. We don't know about it, but it is there. God spoke to the judges, the Israel judges, the Jewish judges. He said, that's mean his God. I said, you are, who is this? The judges. You are gods and the children of the Most High. So according to this, God addressing the Jewish judges saying, you are what? Gods. What mean you are gods? Meaning you have the words of God. Jesus will explain to us this. So there is a text in the Old Testament, Allah addressing the judges of their God. So Jesus used this one to prove his case that he's not literal son of God. He said to the Jews, is it not written in your law, in your book? Is it not written in your law that God said, I said you are gods? So if God, he said, if God address those people God just because they have the words of God, why you say to me I make a blasphemy when he chose me and sent to the people? Because I said I am the son of God. Meaning God already said to those people, you are gods, because they have the words of God. So there is no problem if I call myself son of God because he chose me and sent me to the people. A beautiful explanation from Jesus. He gives us now, Jesus gives us two explanations for what? Son of God and God when it is addressed to a human. He gives us two explanations of Son of God when it is addressed to a human, and God when it is addressed to a human. God means they have the words of God. Son of God means a chosen and person sent to the people. That is what Jesus said. I will need somebody to read it. Read this paragraph, so we'll close this one. Read, Nasser.
Surely the literal meaning of terms of Son of God?
Yes.
Surely the literal meaning of the term Son of God, or as God or God, when addressing a human in the Hebrew language, was never meant to be taken literally, but the figurative meaning. It is something
المجازي. هذا معنى المعنى المجازي.
It is something unbelievable when one insists on calling Jesus the Son of God.
No, read about only when they cornered Jesus and they said, the last paragraph, when he said,
Good explanation for
in Psalm 82:6.
what page here?
29? 29?
According to the Bible,
Yes.
Jesus would ask people to call God their Father.
No, more.
Literally, the meaning of the Father who begets.
No, down, more.
God is not Father.
No, down. The last, almost the last.
Yes. Surely, this is the last.
What is?
Surely the literal meaning.
No.
Surely the Jews knew. Surely the Jews knew the exact meaning.
John
Yes.
10.
John 10:30, 31 to 35.
Or 34 to 36.
Okay, the explanation Jesus is reported in John 10, 31, 36.
Yes.
The explanation of Jesus is reported in John 10, 31 to 36.
Okay, the explanation of Jesus of what? Oh, please, for what? About Son of God when it addressed to himself, and God when it addressed to a human. Now, he will tell us Jesus. So, page what? 31.
First paragraph.
First paragraph, yes.
Can you repeat, Chef?
Yes. The explanation.
About Son of God.
When he read it.
The explanation of Jesus is reported in John 10, 31, 36. Where Jesus and
this explanation of what Jesus explained to you or to the Christians, the meaning of Son of God when he's for himself, and God's when it's addressed to a human. Now he will explain to us. And John 10, 31 to 35. Yalla, continue.
Where Jesus and the Jews were arguing in the temple, the Jews picked up stones to throw at Jesus. So he said to them, I have done many good deeds, example miracles, in your presence, which the Father gave me to do. For which one of these do you want to stone me? The Jews answered him, saying, We do not want to stone you because of any good deeds, but because of your blasphemy. You're only a man, but you are trying to make yourself God. Because he told them that he was the Son of God. Surely the Jews knew the exact meaning of Son of God, because their books were replete with this term in addresses to the prophets. However, in the episode of the temple mentioned above, the Jews were simply being argumentative. And how, dear reader, did Jesus answer those Jews who accused him of blasphemy? It was a critical moment for Jesus to determine his real essence in front of those people. He to whom he was sent, whether he was an actual Son of God or merely a human messenger. It is more than reasonable to assume that Jesus at that moment would not hesitate, nor be afraid, or feel ashamed to declare his reality before them. Jesus would by no means willingly mislead or deceive the people by resorting to a false or politically expedient answer. Rather, his answer would be clear, comprehensive, and conclusive, and it would be a proof for the true faith in him through generations till the time of his second coming, when all the truth will be manifested to those people living then. Jesus answered them, saying, It is written in your own law, Psalms 82:6, that God says, You are gods. And if God called those people the judges gods, the people to whom his message was given, how then can you say of me, whom the Father sanctified and sent into the world, that I blaspheme because I said that I am the Son of God?
Sir, can you see the point? He said, God himself calling the judges gods. Why you say to me, I make a blasphemy when I said Son of God? So, Jesus referred the Jews to their book, saying there is more stronger term. The judges, they were called gods, and there is no problem. Why you say to me, I make a blasphemy when I call myself Son of God, when you choose me and send me to the people? Please clear? Please clear? So Jesus, what Jesus used to prove his case that he is not literal Son of God? What did he use?
Two examples.
No, what did Jesus use to prove his case that he is not literal Son of God? What did he use?
You are Son, you are God.
What did he use?
Use the
Old
Testament.
What? Yes, be specific. Always when I ask, what did he use? Psalm 82:6.
82:6.
Yes? What is in Psalm 82:6?
It's not written in your law that
Yeah, what is there?
It is written that
What is there?
that the term Son of God.
No.
God's-
What is, yeah.
I said
God's
you.
No, please. What is there in Psalm 82:6?
I said you.
We found God addressing the judges that you are gods. Yes?
Yes.
Which is more stronger than Son of God. Now we find a human, they were called what? God. Who pointed? This is Jesus telling them, look, in your law, these judges, they were called gods. And there is no problem. And that means not literal, because it means they have the words of God. So why why? You say to me, I make a blasphemy when I call myself Son of God, when He chose me and sent me. Those more stronger terms, gods, and there's no problem. And your book, and you say nothing. So why only me when I said Son of God, when He chose me and sent me? So Jesus explained the two things. When He addressed Himself Son of God, or said being Son of God, and when a human called God. Yes? Because if He was little Son of God, He will admit. He will not feel afraid, will not feel ashamed, and He must explain Himself for the coming generation. And He should not, mislead the people. But no. He used the Old Testament to prove that there is no problem with these terms. There is no problem with these terms. Because the judges, they were called gods in your law. Please clear.
Yes.
Clear.
Yes. In other words, Jesus was referring to the Jews. If you are trying to stone me because I said I am the Son of God, you must first of all stone the judges.
No, but the judges, they were... Yeah. I get your point, but these judges in the old, those very old, yes? But also, look, the judges, they didn't call themselves gods. God called them gods.
Yeah.
Look, different. Here, Jesus calling Himself Son of God because He is using an innocent term.
common term.
Yes, common. But in the Old Testament, God Himself calling the judges gods. Then Jesus told us the meaning. When God called this God, He means you have the words of God. And when I call myself Son of God, I mean as a chosen person sent to the people. That's the meaning of Son of God. It's not clear, please?
Yes.
Okay. Now, for the next week, we'll talk about the Trinity. Trinity. Very important. And we will talk about I am the way. Another. Very important. Read this. So God loved the world.
For God so loved the world that
He gave His only. Please, this is really homework. Read this too. I can't give another homework for doing because this is really need very deep. They are very deep. If you understand this too, you will move. الثانية number 3 number 4. So God loved the world, the Trinity, and so God loved the world. He gave His only begotten Son. And by the way, who said this statement? So God loved the world. Who said this statement?
Jesus.
Jesus. Because if Jesus, if not Jesus, we will not talk about it. If it's not Jesus, I will not talk about it. But this is said by Jesus. So what that means? So I will not give another homework because I agree with the suggestion of Fahad that we'll start to make some assignment to make a summary to make it writing and bring it to present it. But because of this one is really tough, Trinity and this, concentrate on this, read it. Any questions? Any questions? Any questions?
Thank you so much.
Okay, shukran.